Expected rainfall can limit volumes on the markets, but lower demand will limit upward price movements. Welcome to this week's AMT Fresh Produce Overview. This week we discuss the impact of the rainfall on market prices and see that cabbage, spinach and cucumber prices almost doubled, while blueberry prices jumped by a massive 183% over the past week. All in this week's episode, made possible by Nedbank, so don't miss a second. The average national potato price increased by about 6% to 61 Rand 44 per 10 kg, with 17% less volumes sold on the markets over the past week. Last week, large potatoes traded on 74 Rand, medium potatoes on 57 Rand, and smalls on 48 Rand per 10 kg. In terms of varieties, mondial prices increased to 59 Rand, while the average Safra price increased to 63 Rand per 10 kg. The average price for the Class 1 potatoes was on 64 Rand 65 per 10 kg. As expected, volumes dropped due to rainfall in most production areas, but lower middle month demand limited the upward price movement over the past week. The market, however, started on the back foot this week with large volumes available and demand that is still limited. The expectation is, however, for supply to drop this week due to the widespread rainfall expected, but demand is also likely to stay on a lower level, so don't expect fireworks in terms of prices. We can, however, see better prices next week when demand is likely to start picking up. The average onion price increased slightly to 41 Rand 73 per 10 kg last week, but remains about 1% higher than a year ago, with volumes that are now 31% higher compared to a year ago. Brown onions increased to 45 Rand, red onions to 37 and white onions on 42 Rand per 10 kg. Large onions traded sideways on 41 Rand, mediums increased slightly to 44 Rand, and smalls increased to 42 Rand per 10 kg. I still think that prices can remain around current levels for now and then start moving upward from the start of March and likely reach a peak at the end of August again. As expected, tomato prices dropped sharply last week to 7 Rand 3 cents per kilogram, while the volumes increased by 7% week on week. Large tomatoes traded lower on 8 Rand 27, mediums on 7 Rand 29 and smalls on 6 Rand 5 cents. The market opened up with much lower volumes this week compared to last week's extremely high volumes. The demand, however, remains low, which could keep prices on a lower level this week as well, but expect higher prices from the end of this month into April as volumes can drop further and demand is likely to also pick up over that period. Carrot prices decreased by 6% last week, averaging on 5 Rand 76 per kilogram. Large carrots traded on 6 Rand 13, mediums on 4 Rand 57 and smalls on 4 Rand 59 per kilogram. Similar to potatoes, the market started on the back foot this week with more volumes reported. We are, however, expecting lower volumes this week as well due to the expected rainfall, but the upward price movement will also be limited by lower expected demand and quality that is also not up to standard at the moment. During March and April, however, this price is likely to remain in an upward trend due to higher demand and slightly lower volumes expected. The average pepper price remained sideways on 13 Rand 70 per kilogram. Green peppers traded at 10 Rand 28, yellow peppers increased to 22 Rand 16 and red peppers dropped to 15 Rand 65 per kilogram last week. We're also now expecting lower prices over the next week, but also expect higher demand to push prices higher towards the end of this month again. Cabbage prices are now 76% higher than a year ago on 3 Rand 84 per kilogram, with volumes about 14% lower year on year. The average garlic price, however, dropped to 46 Rand 28 per kilogram, with locally produced garlic on 37 Rand 93 and imported garlic on 83 Rand 51 per kilogram. Spinach prices decreased to R6.98 per kilogram and is now 101% higher than a year ago, with about 52% lower volumes reported currently on the markets compared to last year this time. Sweet potato prices dropped to R6.02, pumpkin prices dropped to R2.68, butternuts traded on R4.32, while green beans decreased to R11.76 per kilogram. Cucumber prices, however, almost doubled over the past week to R10.39 per kilogram, but is still about 20% lower than the price that we saw a year ago. For a deeper dive into these and other markets, be sure to download our latest reports available for free at amtrends.co.za. Shifting our focus to the fruit markets, however, the average banana price jumped as expected and increased by 14% to R10.02 per kilogram or R180 per 18 kilogram box, and is now 36% higher than a year ago, with the current volumes about 22% lower than a year ago. The expectation is still that the price can increase until the middle of March due to lower expected volumes. Apple prices dropped by about 6% to R13.78 per kilogram, with the local season starting. The pear price dropped by another 7% to R8.59 per kilogram and can bottom out at the end of February. The pear price is, however, then expected to stabilize, with a slight upward price trend expected from then onwards. Orange prices decreased by 5% to R21.41 per kilogram and is now 17% higher still compared to a year ago. We are expecting orange prices to drop sharply from here on out, as more local volumes will likely force prices downward. As expected, apple prices dropped by another 5% to R22.58 per kilogram, with 22% more volumes traded on the markets. Variety-wise, Viertuis decreased to R26, Haas actually increased to R29, while Pinkerton prices also increased over the past week. Viertuis, however, represent the majority of the avos now on the markets and has a larger influence on the average price at the moment. Expect avo prices to drop sharply and then most likely stabilize between R10 and R13 at the start of March again. The average grape price traded 17% higher on R23.39 per kilogram last week, with volumes decreasing by 21% week on week. Compared to last year this time, we're still seeing 34% higher prices due to about 16% lower volumes reported on the market. We're still expecting prices to stay elevated when compared to a year ago due to lower volumes. That is also expected. Pineapple prices traded higher at R15.42, lemons dropped to R8.43, while the blueberry price traded 183% higher on R204.97 per kilogram. I still think that lemon prices can stay in this downward trend for now, while blueberry prices will most likely become very scarce and prices that can stay on this higher level. This video was proudly brought to you by Standard Bank. For more detailed market insights, visit our website at amtrends.co.za, where you can also download our latest reports for free. Don't forget to join our growing community on WhatsApp for exclusive updates. Just follow the link in the description to stay connected with the latest trends and insights. I'm Dr. Johnny van der Merwe, and thank you for tuning in.